Okay, I think it's better for me to do these. Hold on, let me turn the volume up this time. I think it's better for me to do a few of these little videos on MP3. I'm just trying on my phone a new way to do this. So hopefully the file size is smaller. So the hive mind. Might have to talk more on this one day, but have you guys noticed when you tilt your head just like 2 inches back, you know, you're suddenly on the telepathic grid? Now, all language everywhere of any kind has been created from telepathic light streams. This is how language has been created. Now, I have a feeling, I'm going to suppose for now, that I think the hive mind, this hive mind, I call it the Huzz and the buzz of the hive mind. Sorry, it's really early. I've got a little bit of a clogged throat happening. So I call the hive mind the Huzz and the buzz, and I feel it. And it's very possible that that is the field I've been explaining to you guys. When I say I'm lying here right now, if I turn around my head, I feel it on my feet. I don't know who it is, but I think I've discovered that it's not a one person behind me. Because, you know, I can feel people 100 foot away, more than the 33-foot heart field. I'm not sure what that, I think it's just the psychic field of anything you can sort of see and interpret informationally. And if you're very clear like me on very high octaves and high vibration, you're probably the same. You can sense people like 100 foot away, and you've already got telekinesis, telepathy, and so forth happening. So the heart field is even less, 33 feet. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I can feel this field behind me that I've explained in another video is like this disharmonious, abhorrent cloud of odd vibration, you might say. And it's like the old lady who's shaking in fear, that sort of vibration, you know, and it makes you shake like that. And I'm very anionized and grounded, so I pick this up very easily because it's very subtle. But because I'm very grounded, I can pick up subtle energies very easily. Now, I think that cloud itself might not be emanating from just one, but that's their emanation. That's the hive mind. And if you watch that movie, the one with the glasses, you know, They Live. I think it's called They Live. If you watch that movie, and he puts on the glasses and he suddenly sees that the world's invaded by these, like, I don't know, I don't want to call them aliens, but they're like skeleton people. It's very analogous to the organic portals anyway, okay? So just watch the movie. And they've taken over the world and they're broadcasting a certain frequency. And at the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure I remember him blowing up like the frequency box, like a radio broadcaster thing. And then that, like, you know, stopped them and in their invasion of Earth or whatever. So that movie's very analogous, I'm seeing in some parts. And that broadcasting of their vibration in that movie is kind of similar to the idea of the hive mind and what I think I'm picking up, which is emanating from OPs, organic portal people. Now, it's like an abhorrent vibration, and it completely makes sense because you would have to go, you know, to a vibration such as that, as such, because when it hits me, it unfocuses the aperture of consciousness, and it pulls my head up and backward and connects me to the telepathic grid. And that's when I started realizing, I think this is the hive mind vibration. And also what I'm thinking and supposing right here, right now, and I've heard no one say this, But I think the actual, the idea of the morphogenic field from Rupert Sheldrake, possibly the actual morphogenic field is the hive mind. Now let's discuss this, because it makes the theory less crazy and more grounded to earth, and real. Okay. So Rupert Sheldrake came out with the idea, or it came through him, that an animal species, each animal species, whether it's a duck or a human, has its own morphogenic field. And, this can really be seen in birds, I just realized, this morphogenic field. When they fly in unison? And it's like sometimes they fly in a perfect V, and, the mighty ducks. But, you know what I mean? And it's like they really have a field around them, like some sort of invisible force field. And it's a mind force field, and this is the earth being a minded entity. Okay, it's what these morphogenic fields are. It's the earth reaching out. It's not like, some alien from somewhere in a 1,000-ton beryllium ship broadcasting some field, It's nothing like that. This stuff can all be Occam razored, simplified. You don't have to reach too far out, because we're not far out. We're here on Earth. So anyway, I think it might be that the hive mind is the morphogenic field, and it's like a huzz and a buzz, and it kind of, you need that frequency. You sort of fall into the frequency, and then you're part of the field, or possibly the hive mind. And that's why they're all psychic and stuff. And now, seeing your third eye, when these organic portals around you, they start ganging up on you and psychicking you on the bus, at your house, wherever you are, at work. We all know this, the gang attack, the gang OP attacks, and it's like the hive mind is pressing you through 10 individuals or something, See those moments now, and correlate it to what I was saying about the ducks flying in the air. You see, and those ducks and how they are hive-minded. You'll see them look at each other. You'll see, check for wing speed and so on. So just have a good look at what I'm talking about. I just realized this. And, so this is all correlating. Interesting. So it might be that might be the case. And then that the hive mind is, sorry, I'm laying backwards, kind of like drinking my own phlegm. It's early and cold. Now, I hate morning phlegm. It's like death approaching. Okay, sorry about that. Right, we were up to... Yeah, so I'm supposing. That doesn't mean I think for sure. Okay, because these are first thoughts. These are first Creo. I have to still Creoed more on the Creo. Creo in Spanish is the word for thought, but similar to Creoed, which is like a little time period, Anyway. So this could be the hive mind, and what I've noticed is, and I remember Terence McKenna saying this in a lecture, he said something about a 2-inch head tilt is all you need to join the telepathic grid. And, I'd done the little 2-inch head tilt and went, oh yeah, and realized I'd been feeling that for years. And so do that. Watch what happens with just a little 2-inch head tilt and your anterior frontal opens or something, And you got radio communication then with this hive mind. And so that's what I think is going on, because it said that the radio intellechy of the body or of you leaves the body through the anterior fontanelle to speak to the stars. I do this often, and the stars will bounce back code, and you can pass it in your pineal and so on, and project it onto the septum lucidum and actually see what they're saying, what the ancestors are saying and the stars are saying. So anyway, learn about the septum pellucidum as a projector from the pineal, and keep your vibration clear. The septum is not cleared yeah, it's cleared by some compounds like bitters and stuff, but alkaloids, but it's mainly vibration. Pure water, yep, definitely, but vibration. You could go without the water even if you could just heal via vibration your septum pellucidum. Same with the pineal. Pineal's a different vibration to heal than the septum. It's a more deep one, and the septum is a higher vibration because it needs to be tight, like a projector field, so that the image can project onto the septum from the pineal. Anyway, what we're saying, okay, we're on the hive mind, could be the hive mind of the matrix, could be the morphogenic fields. Now, where does the souled human come into it then? Clearly then, if you look on a Cartesian graph, you see, to do with the word outlier, it's a little dot way above the trend line of the other dots. Okay, that's what an outlier is. It's outside of the normal trend. Say you've got 100 dots, they're all kind of going up at a 45-degree angle on the Cartesian graph. Then you've got one dot, and this one dot decides to be way out over to the left or to the right or something, okay? So that's an outlier. That's what the souled humans are like to the morphogenic field. It's the duck that suddenly flies off. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the souled humans are, and what it is that we've raised our frequency, I think, out of that field to collect extra information, and that's all it is. And it's possible that you can keep raising the frequency to keep collecting information from nature. Now, this information is sort of absorbed in a way that is not the same as when you learn it in school in front of the teacher. It's a much deeper, subtle absorption at a cellular level, and you may not even have it passed into English code in your brain yet. Okay, but you'll have the information absorbed. In other words, hey, my souled human friends, you just know, don't you? Sometimes you just know, don't you? You're like, how do I know? I just know. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Just then, when I was just saying, the information is absorbed, but you may not necessarily recognize that you've absorbed it. How do you know if you have absorbed it? I think I get like tingles, and I'll get vibrational changes in the body and stuff. So just start to tune into that, and you'll be like, "Ooh, something just happened. Something just absorbed." And then the next day, you'll either have an epiphany because it finally passes the code into English or something, and it can work like that. So that's what I think's going on with the, I don't know what to call this video. I just started talking because I was thinking about it. It's like 6 a.m. again, real early in the mornings. I like to wake up and get the pranic energy in the morning. There's books by yogis written about that too. And that's very good for clearing the septum pellucidum, by the way, in my opinion. These early waking up moments, and there's no one around. You're disconnected from the hive mind because they're all asleep and they're not emanating the abhorrent vibration. It's like a field they emanate, right? That's what I'm trying to say, and I think that is the hive mind, that morphogenic field, and that what the souled humans have done is kind of uplifted themselves out of that. Benjamin Kauenberg. Benjamin Kauenberg. Obi Ben Kaunobi. Kaima diastasi. That means Kaima as in schematics. It's one of my highest archetypes. Vibrational, multi-dimensional God wave, it translates to. It's Greek as well. Kaima diastasi, which means wave. Yogi Alamad Palakrash. It's my yogi name. These are spirit names. And it means pranic light legend. Yogi Palakrash means light, I think. Palakrash, what is it? Yogi Alamad Palakrash. I think Alamad is like legend, and then Palakrash was like light, and it's when I'm in that archetype, I'm pranic. Indigo Ben Speedstar in the astral. consciousazine.net, consciousazine 2.